Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? It's JCL, King Real Forex King, back for a weekly Forex forecast. This is from September 27th to October 2nd. So let's look what's happening for this upcoming week. As you can see, let's start off looking at the forexfactory.com, checking the calendar to see what's happening. And as we can look at Monday, there's not too much activity. Maybe for the euro, it's high impacted at 9:45 in the morning during New York session. You check the folder for more detail to see what's happening with this news event concerning the president. There should be some volatility for the euro pairs. Then Tuesday is pretty smooth. Nothing too crazy going on. I usually look for red folders, but I don't see any, so it's pretty smooth, low impacts. And then Wednesday, you can see during London session, the the ECB president speaks going to affect the euro pair. You can check it out to see more details. There might be some volatility. And then as we get into October, Thursday, it's the first of the month, new month. Nothing too much going on until New York session, the ISM manufacturing PMI. So you can see some movements during the New York session. And then Friday is NFP, non-farm payroll. We're talking about employment change, so this should be like high impact news that's going to affect a lot of the USD pairs. So Friday, NFP, lately NFP be weak, so even though it's a high impact news event, I don't see, lately there has been a lot of crazy pips. It'd be like not even that much, probably a lot of consolidation might happen after the news events, but we'll see. So that's to look out for next week. Now let's look at the Forex pairs. So this is GBP USD. Let's look at a daily chart. I know it's pretty messy because we're going back down in the market. So this past week, the market pretty much tanked. So right now you can see there's exhaustion wicks on both sides, top and bottom. So right now the market is deciding to make a direction, decide if it wants to come back up. Right now, it's an overall downtrend on the higher time frames. As you can see from the daily chart, for those who like swing traders to focus on the daily, you can see the market tanked down, retraced up, created a new low, then went back up, and then it came back down. Now it's playing around where it could potentially come back up before it comes back down again, since we're on the downtrend. So let's go to the forward chart and let me see. So right now, based off how the market ended last week, we could potentially see the market behave in this type of manner. You see it potentially come back up just to test this area and come back down if it breaks down this area, and then we go back for the downtrend. I do see a continuation to the downside, but if the market breaks, let's say the market breaks this area, it closes this above this area. Let's say the market, for some weird reason, comes back up and closes up here, then I'll expect the market to come back down and go back up to retest this area. And then retest to go back up. But basically, the way it ended last week, pretty much downtrend. So I do see come back up, potentially come back down. So it all depends on what happens around this area, which is the 1, 2, 8, 4, 5, 8 area, and what happens in the 1, 2, 6, 9, 6, 8 area. If it breaks down here, expected the continuation to come down. And it's for GBP USD. And let's look at GBP JPY. So obviously, this pair is a little different from the other pair. It's still overall downtrend, But I did see the market did try to come up the last 3 days try to come back. So market basically dropped down last week and it came back up. So I do see the market potentially retesting down before it comes back up. If it breaks this area. If it breaks this area here, we can see it to go back up to retest this drop. Or, you know, depending how the market ended, it could just come back up and then drop back down to test this area before it comes back up. But if it breaks this area down here, if it breaks this area and closes, it'll just come back down. So we go to the 4-hour chart for a little more detail. A lot of consolidation over here. We can see the market potentially come back up to test this area before it drops down. And if it breaks this area here, we're going to continue to go down. So the areas to focus on is the break of the 13500 area. If it breaks and closes above, we potentially might start to go back up, and also focus on the break of the 13492 area. If it closes below here, expect continuation to the downside. But since we have a lot of consolidation here, there should be a breakout during like Sunday or Monday for the direction. So just pay attention to those areas because we could continue this downtrend. If it breaks down this area, expect the downtrend move. But if it goes back up and breaks this area, we're gonna like go back up. Because this area is an area of a lot of consolidation as well. And right here as well. So this area is very important in the market to determine if we're going back up. So now look at AUD USD. So AUD, this dropped. Last week, it was a smooth drop. Because if you look at the prior week, there's a lot of exhaustion wicks. So it was getting exhausted. It created like an M structure on a daily chart. And then it just dropped down. Boom. That being said, we're basically testing this area over here, this previous area of resistance and support. So starting this week, the market is like overall downtrend, but starting the week, since we're at this funny area, the market could do two things. It could continue to break down and break this area and just shoot back down, or the market could decide to be like, okay, let's come back up, retest this area, then come back down and come back and break down for downtrend. Or the market decide, let's come up, break this area, and use this area as support to then potentially come back up. That is an opportunity that could happen, but I think the market is going to just continue coming back down. And let's look at gold. For all my gold traders, gold's been on a downtrend, as you can see, ever since it broke down this area, this trend line area, or down here. So I do see gold potentially just retrace up, still coming back down. Maybe to test this area down here. Let me show you guys. This would be an area where gold could come down to. Gold could literally, hold on. Go clearly, test this area, and then come back down. Or gold could just shoot down and use the area as support. So let's look out for that. Look out if it breaks the 1896 area. And if it breaks that, then we potentially might start to come back up. But I think it's going down still. And now let's look at for US 30, the Dow Jones. These are daily chart, so each candle takes a data form. And pretty much last week we dropped down because of tech sales, retraced back up, then dropped down, and then it came back up for the last 2 days. So I do see it retesting this area to potentially come down and shoot back up. But we've been on a downtrend on the daily chart. As you can see, we're on like a strong downtrend because of the tech sales. It's affecting the market. So we'll see what this week brings, because this week is NFP. So the market could potentially like continue to shoot down and shoot back up on Friday like it did last week. But we'll see. Right now, the market is downtrend, so we had to literally break this trend line for it to continue going up. But I do see it hitting this and it's coming back down to retest this area. And if it breaks down this area, then we know we're going down for the downtrend. But basically how this pair does move, you can see we are pretty much respecting up and down type of pattern. As you can see, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down pattern. So just be on the lookout for breakouts. And for USD JPY, last week pretty much straight uptrend, as you can see. This pair, the way it moves, it does trend. So when it drops, it trends. When it goes up, it trends. And if it comes back up here, we could potentially hit this area and then have a big drop like we had 2 weeks ago. So I would potentially look to see if it hits this area of 105, like 900 area. If it comes back up to this area and tests this area, this will be a defining moment. Right now we're still going up. So if we come up here, we could break it and continue, or we could finally use it as an area of resistance and shoot back down. So all depends on what happens around this area. I do see it continue going up for a little bit. And now let's look at the euro. The euro has been dropping on a daily chart. Been dropping for some days, as you can see, smooth drop. But I do see it potentially, it could come up and retest this area before it continues to drop down. So this pair been in this crazy consolidation for like a couple months or whatever. It's finally dropping down, which is a good thing. Because I know many people were waiting for this drop to see if it come down to this area. Because this here was like a smooth rise around this area before it got to this area of like crazy consolidation before it finally dropped down. So we could continue the momentum downwards, or we could continue the momentum to retest and come back down. But I'll still focus on downtrend moves, sales for the Euro USD pair. Just basically all the structure and the pattern of this pair. And now let's look at XRP USD. Pretty much It like will drop down. It came back up. We've been on an overall downtrend on the higher time frames. So I will pretty much look for sell opportunities. If it hits this area of the 125,424, I'll look for sell opportunities because it can come back down. If it breaks this area of 1.22140, then we know we're gonna go back down even more. But overall, I do see is overall downtrend at this moment. But just be careful for this area because if it does come up to retest the area and breaks, then we could potentially try and come back up. So this is a important area to see what happens with price if it respects the area as resistance or support. If it's resistance, it's gonna come back down. It's a good thing for the week. So that's pretty much it. My analysis for this upcoming week. Remember, it's NFP, so Friday. Expect to see some volatility. Lately, NFP been trash, so I don't expect to see anything too crazy. But, you know, we always give hope for NFP because back in the day, a lot of piss was traded in minutes. So that's pretty much it. Like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. And really know we out here. Peace.